I'm curious from the panel, but between the park and the ballpark, if it was a choice between those two, where would you fall?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you have to pick one before the other.
If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. Go for it all. I mean, I say you go for it all.
Well,
put them both on the referendum, for crying out loud. Vote for both. What's my monthly?
What Daniel Burnham said, make no small plans, they have no magic to stir men's blood. So, I think we're trying to stir the blood here a little bit. And as the mayor was pointing out, we have some great things coming online, and we need to build on that momentum. I mean, in a 5-year period, we've seen the largest construction boom in Wilmington downtown's history, really. We're over $200 million of public and private investment between PPD, between the convention center, and the 3 projects that are currently underway at the community college that were voted on by the voters. The Union Station project, the new 1,200-car parking deck that they're building there, and a 1,500-seat performing arts auditorium that will be the largest anywhere in our area that will be built to attract the types of shows and symphonies and concerts that we haven't been able to attract in this area before. To put it in perspective, as the mayor said, I mean, Keenan Auditorium is at UNCW is about 950 seats. Thalian Hall, I think, is 700-ish. So this is a very big facility that's going to come here. That's a big piece of the cultural amenity package that we were talking about to try and get here. I think a ballpark's a great idea, and I think that should be the next thing, as well as a park. I mean, really, we have a Vision 2020 plan. I mean, I think that we ought to be looking at a long-term project for a bond referendum or some type of initiative, a funding mechanism where we can get several things done. One is just complete the Vision 2020 plan. I mean, we voted on it. It's a great plan that's in place there. Jim, you were instrumental in keeping it, and Laura Padgett and many others, and to help kind of push it along over the years. Well, let's implement it. Let's get the rest of that thing done. Let's build it and put it in place by 2020. Let's set that as a challenge for this community. That'd be a great thing to have happen. And the ballpark ties in with that plan, as does the downtown Riverfront Park.
Well, and just as we're talking about cultural amenities for ourselves, let's not forget about our kids. Because, one thing we need to focus on, I think, when we're talking about these great things coming downtown is the other downtown that we're not talking about, the one that I see at the courthouse. And Tracy Wilkes is opening on 10th and Fanning Street, the Dream Center, thanks in large part to buying a 30,000 square foot building for a penny. And you've given almost $1 million now locally and through some of the stimulus money to make that happen. That's in the center of the zone. Richard Florida stood on this very stage earlier in the year and talked about what Miami's doing, where their incredible symphony is piping out music so that the kids can hear it in the street. We're a good enough city to do that, and I'm telling you, you're helping me do my job when you're doing that too.
Hey, Rob, you brought up a really good point, and let me tell you something. Here's a business solution. We talked about a ball field in the park. We need focus. There are so many ideas. They're all good ideas, but we need to pick off one at a time. You folks in the room here, obviously people that care about downtown, your leaders in the community, we need to get some consensus. There are so many downtown organizations, all with different agendas. If it's a ball field, fine. If it's a park, that's fine too. If it's changing the mix, that's good. But let's pick one thing and all rally around it. I mean, I think that's the issue. I mean, that's how you'd form a business strategy. I mean, we're always looking at potential investment opportunities. They're competing with each other. At the end of the day, what gives us the best ROI? What makes sense? And then, to the conversation up here, let's put it out to a vote, right? Then we've got some backing for this thing because the public at large has weighed in. But all of those things will help the downtown. There's no doubt about it. What will help the downtown most? Let's do that first.
That brings up something we talked about at lunch a little bit, and Mr. Mayor, maybe you could talk about it. When you hear from the business community about downtown, what are you hearing?
What I'm hearing is we need more businesses down there, and I hear them. And the way I look at this is that downtown has evolved. When the people started leaving the city and going out into the suburbs, the business community that was here at that time said the reason that they're leaving and they're going out to the suburbs, like Hanover Center and to the Independence Mall, is because they have ample parking. So the city council, number of councils, made investment in public parking. I would say that we have completed that because we've got parking coming out of our ears right now with parking decks. The next piece of this was we need some kind of a cultural amenity down here that would draw people back downtown. Somebody came up with the idea of let's put this Riverwalk in. And the city councils, every council, has made an investment, a serious public investment in this Riverwalk, which I think is one of the greatest amenities that we have, not only for downtown Wilmington, but this entire region. I think the third piece of this puzzle, I mean, then the other portion was we need to have a facility where we can bring people down here. Well, we've built this, and they are coming. But I think the last piece of this puzzle that we need to kind of change this perception from bars to more retail and more businesses down here is what Dave alluded to. We're going to need more people living down here. We're going to need more hotels down here to be able to have a sustainable group of people that will be here 24 hours a day to support our downtown businesses. To give you an example, in the downtown Charleston area, what I call the peninsula, they have over 1,300 hotel rooms, possibly now up to maybe 2,000 hotel rooms. In this little area that we have downtown Wilmington, you've got the Hilton, 275 rooms, and you've got the Best Western at 53 rooms, and you've got some other hotels, some little hotels around here. It's probably no more than about 300 and some rooms. So we're going to need more hotel rooms downtown. Now, how many hotel rooms do you need? I see my good friend over here, Bill Rudisell, and when he hears me say, you need 500 additional hotel rooms, he says, Bill, you're crazy. But you definitely need between 300 to 500 additional hotel rooms down here because those people that come down here and stay in these hotels come out and they go shopping and they go eating and they stay in this particular area. And they're going to go to the beaches, they're going to go to Fort Fisher, they're going to go to the aquarium, they're going to go to the battleship. But at the end of the day, they're going to spend a lot of their time and money in the downtown area, and that's what we're going to need to sustain the businesses down here. And from just a demographic point of view, most of you in this room will probably shop and eat and gas up your business about within 2 to 3 miles of your house. It's just a convenience factor. So the more people that we can bring down here to live permanently is another good thing. And Dave, sometimes I joke with me, we're going to put a statue in his honor down here because he's built a lot of units down here over a number of years. Not only Dave, but a lot of different people that have taken it on and taken jumped into it and get in there and start to build these things. The Bannerman Station and
I don't need the statue. I'll take the park.
And the Weldon place, but there's a lot of, we need that too. So we need more people living down here and visiting down here. And that's the last piece that I believe that we're really, really missing in addition to the park and some of the other public stuff. But that last piece is going to be very critical to the economic health of these businesses.
I think, you're in this room because you do care about downtown, as Bill said. But you're sitting here, you're going, well, I don't have a hotel I can put over here, and I'm not in a position to move my business downtown. When it comes up that we can move or we need to expand, we're going to locate downtown. But you're wondering, what can you do to make a difference? I mean, you want to walk out here and you're going, I want to make an incremental improvement to my downtown, and it's easy, and it's something that everyone in this room is capable of doing. One, when you and your spouse are trying to figure out where you're going to go for dinner or what you're going to do today, you're not really sure. Instead of sitting there arguing on the couch, get in the car and drive downtown. But let me tell you something. When you're driving downtown, here's something I'd like you to do. As you're getting downtown, when you come to an uncontrolled intersection, you're at the corner of Dock and Front Street, and you see a family coming out of the Children's Museum in a stroller, stop at the crosswalk and let them pass. Let the pedestrian come first. It's everywhere. Let the pedestrian be the ruler of the world downtown because the city was built for the pedestrians. Second thing, though, when you get downtown, don't ride around looking for a parking space and plug that damn meter. Get yourself into a parking deck. You'll never get a ticket. It's super easy, and in most times, you'll never pay more than $1 for the length of time that you're there. You could be there for 2.5 hours before you got to pay any money. Once you're downtown, do a couple things to help me out, because things that'll drive me crazy. There's not a whole lot of trash. There really isn't. There's not much trash downtown. It's not like this dingy place. Most of the graffiti's handled, but if you come across something on the street, a bottle or a bag, there's a trash can every 165 feet. Every 165 feet is a trash can. Pick it up, put it in the trash. Finally, though, while you're here, there's panhandlers, and I don't like them. Actually, I don't like them even a little bit. I can't stand them. Do not give them money, because that's the one thing. Like any other business, if they don't have an income stream, they will have to close. So do me a favor and shut that down. But most importantly, while you're downtown, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have an interesting experience. You will see something that's funny or unusual or worth taking a picture of to show your friends. Enjoy yourself downtown, have a good time, and when you come down the next time, just bring a friend. That's all we need.
Think we can get that in 30 seconds?
That was 30 seconds.
Not to overload this discussion with Bonies, but we have a question from table 16 from Charles Boney. We have the microphone.
I'll be real loud.
All right.
Who invited him?
Thank you. I know this discussion has come up in the past, and there always seems to be a legislative reason why we can't do it, but I'll throw this idea out to the crowd anyway. Why can't we tax liquor sales downtown and use them for regional improvements? My gosh, I just did the math. In about 9 months, we can pay for the ball stadium. Just $1 a beer. Thank you.
Well,
We can start right now.
I'm not going to get into politics, but I mean, you know, we have a tough time just cutting 1 cent off the sales tax in this state. I don't think you would find much support for that at the state legislature, unfortunately. But you know, that is something that we have talked about at council. Is that the frustration is that you do have the people are demanding a higher level of service down here, and how do you pay for that level of service? And you know, that's something we've talked about, but I don't believe we would get to, I don't even believe we'd get out of the batter's box with that one, Charles, unfortunately. But
I would direct your question, and obviously it'll be on an individual level after we're over, but Alan Fields from Raleigh is here with the ALE, as is Bill Berryhill, our local agent who's here. They were instrumental in working with Bill Wallach, who's a cross-sworn assistant DA in my office on the Rhino case and Club 609. I think it's important, though, when we talk about, you know, are we going to build in more resources, sin tax, as they've been called in other places, for cigarette sales, that it really does go back into the reinvestment of crime prevention. And that's why I'm so pleased with the vote yesterday. We needed those officers walking the beat. We need to have their code enforcement to be able to be something that we're cross-sworn to do as WPD officers, because there is a Fourth Amendment right not to have an officer come into your club. What I found at that meeting back in December is they were saying, please come in. Please come in. If there's a problem that you can nip in the bud, we want that done. And so we've been getting a tremendous amount of cooperation. And what we're finding is by doing that aggressively at an early part of the night, instead of when it's blowing up at 2 in the morning, we are starting to see a dip. And it's too early to unfurl the banner of mission accomplished. I totally agree with that. But I really do believe that there's some things that we're doing right now that are working smarter specifically on those issues. But please go to table, I guess it's 16, and talk to those guys right after this. No, it's not table 16, it's 27.
Well, and it's easy to pile on the bars as well, but let's not forget, I mean, the entertainment areas, the bars and the restaurants, really are a big piece of what helped to save downtown and make it become what it is today.
true.
We have a great downtown, and it's largely thanks to the people that invested in the hospitality industry and the bars and the restaurants to get there. We just need, as Bill said, a better mix of other uses.